Foolishness. Hey guys. Yeah. So today is Equalizer 3. We may reference the earlier two movies here and there, but for the most part, we're talking about Equalizer 3. So, um, there were
Oh,
spoilers. Caesar, tell me what you think about
movies
the movie.
all
Yeah, the movies. Yeah.
all the way. So, funny thing is that I remember on part two
Hmm.
that I didn't know this was fake. I thought this was like something that it just that it just been produced with part one. So then I think I don't know around when part two started coming out. That's when I heard it was a remake. And I was like, I never saw this shit. Like I also heard too that Training Day is a remake as well. That Training Day it was like a French movie, and then they
What?
remade it Washington one. Yeah. So so I'm like, oh shit, I did it again. And then I saw what you posted earlier today, and I never saw the Queen Latifah one. I did heard some good reviews, but I'm a person where I like where the original came from. So that's what
Mm.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I also agree with you about I will still if they make a fourth one, I will still see it, but they better not tone it down, bro. They
I
better keep up with that.
Listen, they came through so strong with the third one that I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you top this?
Because here's the thing about the third one though, because the first one it hits you like like it's like a punch you didn't see because it's like sentimental. You see what it is. You see that this guy's been through some stuff, and boom, he wants to help people out. Cool. The second one is like, all right, this is who I am. Yeah, the world knows me. This is what I'm about, and I'm not talking about like the character. I'm talking about like the movie itself. That's how it presented. Now we know what he could do.
Yeah,
Now it's like,
yeah,
oh, slow
yeah,
time. Bullet time. He's on
yeah.
now this third one, I really felt like it was a conclusion because now it's like, yo, he found his place of harmony. You know, he's with his Italian homies, and he really stopped the whole cartel. You know what I'm saying? So
Yo,
how can you know what I'm saying? So that's where, but it was really good though. It was really good. I like that he still had the smarts. He was still agile. He was still
mm,
like mind effing people. Like, yo, you really want to do
yes,
this? Wow. I'm gonna take you out. And he does that, the lifting, like, I'm gonna take you out. You know.
yes,
When he does
yes.
that, you gotta be careful. So that's my 2 cents, if you want to put it in.
So I I love the Equalizer series. Well, the movies. I have never seen the original 1980s version, and I have not seen Queen Latifah's Equalizer version, the TV series. Honestly, TV series are harder for me to keep up with. There's
Right.
there's so much more commitment, versus a movie. One and done, I'm out. A series, I gotta be like involved, and I can only have so many. So it's not for lack of wanting to check it out. I just haven't had the time. And now I think they're in season. Are they in season 2 or 3? Like after a certain time, I just kind of like, well, I missed it. But
Right.
yeah.
I'm so
So
sorry. I'm sorry
mm,
that I came in and I'm just trying to make him, be quiet. So yeah.
I was okay.
It looks like I'm about to kick him out real quick because he's about to get into my weights and I don't want him to get hurt. I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
So
It's all
anyway,
good. We're we're
yeah.
we're on live. Everybody knows to deal with live.
So
You'll know what's gonna happen.
and with that being said, though, is like I mentioned before, I again I'm with you with it. Like and just like me and my lady, like when we watch movies, we watch not movies, we watch TV shows. We're
Hmm.
into it. We're putting out time. We putting our kid to sleep.
Yeah.
That's us. Focus. So like a show that we just recently watched was Griselda on Netflix, and that show was like it's like an hour and 10 minutes or an hour long. So you really gotta make sure everything is like almost phones off, watch because you want to see what's going on. It's such a good
Is
show.
that the one
So I don't.
from Sophia from Modern Family?
Fear Regatta. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I heard about it. Haven't watched it yet, but I heard about it.
So, so like I know we're speaking about Equalizer, but with that show, it's something that me and my lady talked about. Is like you could tell that she kind of brought the same energy from Modern Family because in Modern Family, you could tell that she's always sassy. You know,
Yes.
she's quick with it. She know how
Yeah.
to kidnap people because that's what we do in my country. You know, she does stuff like that. But here is like she's cursing up a storm. You know what I'm saying? Like she's into
Ooh, she's next level. She's
like
the R-rated version.
whew, badass. She's really cool. She killed it. She killed it. But so yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We speaking about shows, you gotta put an effort. You gotta understand what's going on because you know when season 2 comes out, you don't know what's gonna happen. You know.
Exactly. Listen, guys, if you have watched the Equalizer show, whether it's the original or the one with Queen Latifah, drop them in the chat. Let me know what you guys think about it. Recommend, don't recommend, what do you like about it? And we'll read it through.
Hey,
I want to start with how this movie opened up.
like is she also doing bullet time too? That's what I want to know. Like, you know, is she also doing the 8 seconds? 8 seconds, I'm gonna take you guys out. You know, if she's doing those little cues, or is she doing her own thing?
Oh,
You know what I
oh,
mean? Like,
okay, gotcha.
um,
Okay. That would be interesting. Um,
yeah, because you there's some actors that they
hmm,
will like. I don't want to see it. Like, you know how
yeah,
I'm sorry, Steve Carell.
yeah,
He said that he needs British Office because he doesn't
yeah,
want
yeah.
to. So that's that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't know. You guys, if you've seen it, let me know. Hey, what's up, Fahad? So we're breaking down Equalizer 3 for those who just came on, Hot Take Tuesday Live, and we're doing some spoilers. So, but even if we spoil it, you should see it regardless. So the opening of the movie where they're just walking through the house with a trail of bodies, uh, they set the tone for real. They were like just giving you guys an idea of what you're about to see. No,
Word.
no, like if you thought this was family friendly, no, it's not. Yo, what's up? Nice. Um, and then I liked how the storytelling later on they gave you like a POV of what happened. Like we see the aftermath, and later on when he's like kind of like bringing back his memory to what he did in that house, you get a little bit of his viewpoint of what he did. I thought that was a great way to bring it, marry it together, because sometimes, a scene is set up so awesomely with the aftermath that you're like, man, I kind of would have wanted to see what it looked like in action. So they gave you both. How that was good. I like
I
that.
also felt where it got me to the scene, like, oh, like they're not playing, was when, again, spoiler, when the brother, the younger brother, he want to make a name for himself or some shit. Oh, I'm sorry for he making a name for himself,
Hmm.
and he went to the cop that was like, yo, that's the van. He went to investigate it, and then those guys showed up into the cop's house and was ready to blast.
Yeah.
That made it into something gritty because they messed them up. Like they pistol whipped them, popped the put,
Hmm.
and they doing that all in front of little girl. You know what I mean? They're like,
Yeah.
now that I'm a parent, it's like,
It hits you, bro.
you know,
It hits you.
like, dude, like, nah, I'm not gonna let somebody, like what? And what can you do? You got four thugs. You know what I'm saying? Big guys. And your wife is there with your daughter. Like, nah, man, that's dehumanizing. That's crazy. And like, and then it's like that poetic justice. Like,
Yeah.
Denzel in the cut looking. He's like, all right, I see what you are. And then boom, he was just taking them out. And it's like, yeah, you know. So
Yeah.
that part, that scene right there is where it hit me like, oh, these guys are grimy. These guys are really.
But that's how they have. That's how it's got to be. Real quick. Just another movie night says never heard of this new show, but watched a tad of the original, very toned down and slow. Oh yeah, no, they definitely ramped it up for the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they probably even ramped it up for the show now. Things run faster paced. But going back to the original discussion about like these bad guys, like the things that he does to them and the violence that he inflicts upon them, they have to make these guys like super villain level for the audience to be okay with how they die. It can't be low key. They can't have no soft spots or like, oh, but he has a good heart. No, straight evil. So that when they're meeting their end in the most violent ways, you are cheering on. You know what I mean?
And I
Like
feel what you just said there, the way the main boss, you know how he took out the little
oh, mm,
main boss.
mm-hmm.
The main boss was an a-hole. He was really
Yo,
like, we're
mm,
gonna burn that ground and we're gonna do this and yo, give me him up or I'm gonna start shoot like yo on some real and yo again like give it to them, give it to them.
listen,
Like it was
listen. They didn't waste no time. They was like, here's the villain. Oh, you don't believe us? Watch him throw a handicapped old man in a wheelchair out the window and hang him.
dude.
They were like, oh, he's really bad. He's really, oh, no, we'll show you how bad he is. Here.
Yes.
Do you feel bad for him yet? No. Okay, good. Like, I was like, and it was the way they did it. Again, this is why I love good storytelling and cinema because, like, he didn't even say, get the old guy or get him. He didn't say nothing. He said, okay, and walked away. And then later on, he's talking to his brother, and behind him, boom. I was like, yo,
No,
crazy.
that scene reminds me of. Did you ever see the movie The Pianist?
No, with Adrian Brody. No, I did not see that movie. I did not see that movie. I know, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't see that movie.
But a little quick spoiler alert on people who haven't seen it, and if you don't see it, if you ever gonna see it, there is a scene like that. Like there's a scene just, and that's what brought me to it. Like I saw it, but we talk about the movie, the Pianist is about the Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? And the way that, and I'm not comparing like it was the same thing. It just gave myself a wow, because the way in The Pianist, it was also an old guy that gets thrown off. It's
Wow.
yeah. So when they did that in the Equalizer, it gave me the dude, like wow, that he's a butt. He's a I'm not trying to curse. I'm trying so hard not to curse,
Oh
but
no,
yeah.
it's okay.
And
You can let it out. It's all right. It's okay.
Dick.
I did. Hold on, we got some comments. Hold on one second. Pre says, get him C's. Berm says, I couldn't believe that scene. He told his brother, you're not ready yet. And then boom, wheelchair man out the window. I know, that was crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Just another movie night says, the brilliance of this new movie is how little the villain matters and how much just our main character matters. Brilliant cinematography and filmmaking. The Pianist is great. Crafty Misfit says, The Pianist is great. Watch that one, Lisa. I will, guys. I will.
It's a great movie. I have a good list of my top fives, and my top fives are weird. Like I love Braveheart. I love as a kid, loved The Land Before Time. Wise, Aladdin and Lion King. But the Piano.
I'm waiting for you to throw the weird one at me. When is it?
The what?
I'm waiting for you to throw the weird one at me. I'm not hearing it right now.
Weird one? The weird one. I don't know.
All these are good
Oh,
choices. Like none of these
oh,
are odd choices.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like I have a lot of. It varies, you know. I could go from Scarface to Godfather, but it's like,
Ah,
but
yeah, Scarface.
with that's what I'm saying. But that's why it with the Equalizer, yes, it's a good shooting show and all that good stuff. But it's also, you know, there's certain parts where it just like I like to compare and contrast other movies to make me really understand what is the mindset of that villain, what is the mindset of the
Mhm.
main character.
Mhm.
You know, it's so little with the villain and more with the main character. Like, and to be honest, if you look at all three Equalizers, he's my man Denzel was taking out big time
Big
cartels. Like, you know what I'm saying?
time.
Like,
But okay, and you know what? It's not just the fact that he was taking it out. They taking it was how he was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was expertly written, filmed, choreographed, and everything. Because even with this new one, like obviously he's older than he was when we met him. He's still recovering from an injury, but he finds smart, effective ways to get over on them. You know, and it's like even in the dinner restaurant scene, he's not taking all three guys at once. All you do is attack the head, and the rest will
that
follow.
it's kind of like if people want to do a comparison, like if you also see it with John Wick. Like John Wick, the number one and number two,
Exactly what I was.
he's going
Hmm.
going
Hmm.
hard. He's bang bang, you know, shooting it too. And but if you notice at the end of part three and now part four, and they also mention it as the behind the scenes stuff. Like you can like there's the scene when he fights the two. Spoiler alert again, guys. Sorry if y'all didn't see John Wick. When he was fighting the two Asian guys at the same time on part
Hmm.
three, that one where John Wick was like, when he's like telling them like hold on, that was real. That was actual Keanu Reeves letting them know it's like yo, he's like out of breath, and the guys actually waited, but they added into that scene
Yeah.
because oh, Keanu Reeves, yeah, he's immortal, but age is catching up to my man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the
Yeah.
same thing like what you said about Denzel. Like Denzel now, we got to take in mind like Denzel, as much he's a living legend and he's one of the best actors ever, but he's not getting any younger. So they got to put him into that where you know, character wise and also real life, how
Hmm.
more gritty and violent, but also smart, like how to take these guys out.
Right.
Like he was even doing Batman stuff in the mansion when he was taking out the main guy, the main bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he's at that age. Him and his character are at that age where you're not a spring chicken, but experience and wisdom has taught you how to how to fight smarter, how to see things, how to watch weaknesses, and you know more about human nature and how people respond to things so you can get ahead of things. Berm says it brought a lot of suspense about how Denzel is going to match up with the villain when he barely can walk, had you on the edge of your seat. Yes, sir. And Ain't No Love One Hey said Leo, my brother.
Nah, so my man there, that's my man Keith. He's another one just like Dupree that I grew up with those guys. They're my neighbors, my brothers. Um, we've been through a lot, you know, and I got nothing but love for him, and I got nothing for yo Keith. Shout out to Keith. I love you, brother. I also see that my niece is watching, Daisy Connor. Shout out to Daisy. To my man at work, D Breezy, my man Dre. Shout out to Dre, love you, bro, and also Dupree. So like I mentioned, yeah, Dupree and Keith, I grew up with those guys. Like I mentioned to you when we was texting, you know, those were the guys that they made my skin tough, you know, because
Yeah.
they are, oof, one of the best. Like you
Wait, wait, wait,
cannot.
wait, wait. You got a movie coming out?
He's like that. He's like that. No, don't listen. Don't. I love you. Don't be telling people, bro. I don't got no movie. I wish. I wish. And you know what's funny? I actually did act when I went to community college and Hostos Community Service. I'm a community Hostos Community College. I'm sorry, and I actually got picked up to do a play. It was a play called uh, um Song of Extinction, and it was about a
Oh,
guy that wants to preserve this forest, and they had me playing the CEO person. So I had to be a douchebag to like, yo, what do you mean that you want to preserve this? Is this gonna help me make money? What do you talk like? I had to be really rude to this other.
so
Uh-huh.
well, you know that I I'll send you some stuff because you're in New York, right?
I'm in Delaware.
No, you're in Delaware. Why I thought you were in New York? Oh, because of the pre.
I'm originally from New York, but I moved out to Delaware in 2017.
Okay, okay, gotcha. I'll keep that in mind. So okay, so here's what I want to say about the Equalizer. I
Right.
I love movies like The Equalizer, and I love movies like The Departed. So The Departed with Leonardo DiCaprio and all of them. The thing I love about that movie is it was very the bad guys and the good guys weren't who you thought they were, or they weren't like so defined, clean cut. I'm all bad, I'm all good, and all. It was very muddled, and it was true to life with certain things, and I really like that. I
Right.
also like movies like The Equalizer, where it is very clear you're evil. You're so evil. We gotta do something about you, like right now.
Yeah.
I need you to be handled
I
like
really didn't like the
expeditiously.
just tell that Denzel's character just wanted a place to just stop doing what he was doing. You know,
Yes, he was haunted.
yeah. So even with the young lady that was flirting with him and trying to make him feel comfortable, like she even was giving him peace. Like yo, because you see in a couple of scenes where he was just looking around like he didn't have to say it. He was like, yeah, man, like this is it. This is where I'm gonna rest at.
Hmm.
Until then, he did mention when he was like, yo, come out now or I'm gonna start blasting people. And then Denzel was like, yo, leave him alone. You're not
Yeah,
gonna take this away from him. Like,
yeah,
yo, spot. Like, I'm fighting for this, you know.
yeah.
So, like we mentioned earlier, if they make this one part three as a conclusion, I will be happy. But if they're
Yes.
gonna go with four, he better be fighting the Russian mob in Russia and finding a way to get out of Russia or something. You know what I'm saying? Something.
So
He better be.
let me think. I believe, and you guys let me know in the chat if I'm incorrect, but I believe that the Equalizer series is Denzel's only sequel movie ever. I'm pretty sure. Again, you guys can confirm, if you want, but I feel pretty confident in my assessment that Equalizer is Denzel's only like movie that has a sequel. Well, now two. Um,
I think
Ain't No Love
you're.
says. Oh, I'm sorry. What you said?
Think you're correct.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and I'm thinking about the throwbacks. You know, Philadelphia, Glory, the most recent. Like, no, I think it's Equalizer. Yeah.
Again, guys, let me know. Ain't No Love says Transporter series is good. What do y'all think? Jason Statham, always a good time.
Yeah.
Always a good time.
Me
Always a
personally,
good time.
I felt like the first one was more realistic, and then along the way, it started getting more cartoony-ish.
Oh, you mean like in Fast and the Furious when they started out just stealing DVD recorders and now they're going to space?
I don't want to speak bad, but I would say
It's
Fast and
not
the
it's not
when
speaking bad, it's just talking about the trajectory
yeah,
of the film
like
series.
like it's about family, and then it became about space, and don't know what
No, no, no,
happened there, but
no. because they were still family in space.
You're right. My
Family.
bad. Absolutely. Transporter is, I like the first one a lot because it was more realistic. Like you could just tell that, we got a guy, his job is to transport stuff, and he's a badass behind the wheel. He fucked up by looking at the back of the at the package, and he broke his own rule. And that
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah.
Love
That was so good.
part
Yeah, I
two
haven't seen it
and three.
in a minute, actually.
Now you're fine
Um,
to one other, and it's still watchable, but I'll give it Quarter Part One. It was the best one.
well, here's the thing, and that's also my issue with like, the sequels continuing on is you always have to up the ante. You always got to go wilder than before. Because think about this. Think about Equalizer 1, 2, and 3. Think about where it started. How many how many bad guys he put down in there. Then move to Equalizer 2. Think about how many bad guys he put down there. And this time, the stakes were higher because it wasn't just bad guys. It was bad guys within like the government who had connections, who were shady. Boom. Now you have Equalizer 3, and I'm pretty sure this is the highest body count of the three
Right.
movies. I feel confident in saying that.
Now, here's my thing too about that, about sequels and the tone. Like for
Yes,
example, we just Fast and the Furious and Transporter. But you know what's a sequel that if you really like this is something that my older brother always tells me, like you kind of like lower your IQ a bit because that's the tone of the movie. If you think about it, Crank, with also Jason Statham. You ever saw that movie, Crank?
yeah, absolutely.
Crank is based on the video game. The first one and the second one, they were over the top, and they didn't tone nothing down. And if anything, part two was way more crazy than part one.
It
But the
had to
whole
be.
point, yeah, but that's the tone of the movie. It's like, all right, bro, we know that, we know this ain't real. We know this ain't, but you have to sometimes just lower it a little bit because that's the tone of the movie. That's like if you're watching certain like cartoon movies or certain movies that are meant that you a Jackass movie
Mm.
or man, what's that movie with Will Ferrell? School
There's a bunch of
the
them. You mean
college
old
old
school? Do
school.
you mean?
Yeah, old school, old school. Comedies like that. Like, yeah, old school is a freaking classic, and you don't have to lower your IQ much for it, but the tone is that it's funny, realistic, and you're gonna have a good time watching it. But
Yeah.
Crank, same thing. You gotta like movies like that. It's meant for you to lower your IQ just a little bit, not too much, but like, okay, I know what they did there. Okay, my man is dry humping the old lady. That's so, because it's never gonna happen.
I
You know.
mean, I'm not gonna talk about the scene with his girlfriend in public, but whatever. You get what I'm saying? I was like, wow, okay. So yeah, yeah. Laura says I like that. So true. Lower the IQ and Fast and the Furious in space. LOL.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I think
Now.
that's that's where it is also wrong with the Fast and the Furious because they try to make it more technical, but it's also again now because the first one you didn't have to lower your IQ because you already know that it's about racing, it's about you don't know who's the kind of good guys because the good guys were the bad guys the whole time, and now he has to be in the predicament where I stay loyal to the cops or do I give Vin Diesel my car so he could escape? It's one of those things where you could be like, oh damn, that could happen in real life. Come on, man. To the third and fourth and fifth, it's like, okay, now I have to lower my IQ a little bit down to like 7 to make it entertaining. Like, okay, so they fighting a tank.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay. Okay. Vin Diesel breaks the street with his foot. I think you're lowering your IQ more than a little bit, but it's still fun. Still fun. Still fun.
entertaining.
You know what? Street always wins. Boom. Like I don't know. Like it was cool. I'm not gonna lie. It was cool. It was cool. They're superheroes now. It's cool. It's cool. The Rock, Daddy's got to go to work. Boom, break out your cast. Like I can't. It's listen. I love it. All right. Like I haven't. I think. I honestly, I think 7 or 8. One of those. The last one with Paul Walker was the last time that I really enjoyed it through and through.
Right.
Since then it's been not as I don't know. I've enjoyed them less and less as they've gone since then. I don't know if it's just like like I wouldn't say not because he's not there. I think it's more along the lines the storyline's getting even crazier and crazier to me. But that's the last time I really enjoyed one.
If you it was also messed up and was messing up with movies nowadays as well. And Ludacris said it too in an interview that I saw. He said, "Yo, if we're making 1.5 billion or 1.2 billion, why stop?" Like, I get it. Yeah, y'all making shit ton of money, and it's also us as the fans, our fault for us keep watching such, outrageous storylines.
Well,
But
here's the thing. I love movies and film. I've always loved movies and film. I'm big on storytelling. That's what I do. I write, I produce, I film, I direct. But the thing is, I've always had like a grace for movies as well. So I don't go in expecting everything to blow me away, like it's The Pianist, or the original Color Purple, or
good one. That's
Jason's
a good
Lyrics. Everything is different. Everything is different. So sometimes I need to be challenged.
one.
Sometimes
Came out
I need to be educated. Sometimes I just need to be entertained. So as long as I know what you are and you're not pretending to be not anything else other than that, I can handle it. It's just they are it's to the point where it's like, oh, what wild thing can we do now? And then, oh, that's right, we have to have a story. Put this together. Boom. That's the thing.
you see the new Color
So
Purple yet?
I did not see it yet. No, I did not.
But did it come out?
It came out. It came out in the theaters. I don't know if it's still in theaters. It came out in December. What are we in February? It might still be there. No, I didn't see the new Color Purple. I know it's more of a musical now. I
Would you?
like musicals, but I don't love musicals, so I probably will take a little longer to see it.
So would you see it?
Yeah, I would see it. I will see it.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm hesitant to see it because for
Because you
me,
don't think it's gonna be as good as the first one?
no. I'm
That's
sorry.
that's where that's where you're messing up already. You're gonna have to forget the first one and treat this as its own medium. First of all, it's a musical, it's a whole different type of thing. That's one thing. Two, you have different actors who are going to give you a different face of these characters. Now, if you love the original, which I do enjoy the original, so much that you're like, oof, I'm not gonna be able to get over the idea of who I know these people to be, then don't stress yourself out about whether or not you're gonna like it or not, because it's a remake.
Right. So here's my thing about
Mm-hmm.
remakes, and a good example, Equalizer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Equalizer is a remake.
Yep.
I never knew it was a remake. However, they killed it. They did a
Mm-hmm.
good job. 2 and 3. And my lady's gonna kill me when she hears me speak about this because she always like we don't get into like arguments like
Mm-hmm.
that, but we have like a political discussion. Let's put it like that. And an example, what I'm talking about Color Purple. Here's my example.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like the new Aladdin. I don't like it. I don't like it. It makes me cringe. I know I'm supposed to understand the new medium. Will Smith is not Robin Williams. Aladdin and Jasmine. I think the girl the one that played Jasmine,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the songs. I'm a stickler with the songs, dude. Like
Okay.
know those songs from the back of my hand. I even got my 3-year-old knowing the songs. I'm a huge fan of Aladdin. The same thing as Lion King. It broke my heart.
Season, we will be here all day if you get me started on the live action remakes of Disney. We will be
But
here
with
all
the color,
day.
I feel you. I feel you. That's why I'm gonna go now with the color purple. Is that with the color purple? I feel like if it and they don't show what's his name? Donald. No, what's his name? The one that plays Lethal Weapon.
Mr.
Lethal.
Mr. Yeah. I think they're thinking referred to Mr. a lot. Hold on. Dang it, what's his name now? No, I know it's Danny Glover, but I meant like I meant his character name. I can't remember his character name now, but yes.
But Danny Glover, he did a good job to hate him. Like you hate that guy. Like
He did such a good job being a villain that he waited like 20 years before he played a villain again. Cause he's like, I gotta have y'all love me again. Like Shooter. That's when he was a villain again. I saw. But,
so my point again is, and that's a great movie too. I heard what you just said. Shooter's an amazing movie. But is if I see the color purple now and they don't capture how much evil is inside Danny Glover's character, that's gonna ruin it for me. Because I get what you're saying. Yes, add the musical, add a little spice to it. I feel like the chick that plays in the Orange and New Black, playing as Oprah Winfrey's character, I think she's gonna do great. But
Danielle something, I think is her name. Yeah, I think she got nominated actually for an Oscar. I think just her. So I think she did a good job. I think she probably did a good job for the nomination. No, I'm not. I'm trying to treat it as a different movie to try to give it some levity, but I don't expect it to hit me the way Color Purple originally did. If it does, that's a nice surprise, you know. And the thing about remakes is, if it's been long enough and you have a fresh spin on it, are you actually have a legitimate way to improve upon it and make it different? I'm 100% agree.
Modernize it. So, like, if we have a movie that is called The Gunslinger and it came out in 1926, and we could modernize it some way, somehow into 2024, 2025, then that's cool. Because not a lot of people's going to know about that, you know, and then people are going to be like, okay, let's reference them back of how they did it back in that time, back in that era. But
I'll give you two examples off the top of my head. The Blob. The original was like 1953 or 8 or something that came out, black and white. I watched it, really cool. Then you have the original, I'm not the original, but the remake in 1980 something. And I watched both movies, and the second one approved upon it, and it brought something different. It even had a different reason for the Blob being created. It was really well done. You have Ocean's 11 with Brad Pitt and George Clooney and Don Cheadle and all of them, and Bernie Mac. That's a remake, and
it is.
That remake I feel is better than the original with
Frank Sinatra.
Thank you.
What's his name?
There's a place for remakes. The problem I'm having right now is the ratio. Before, the ratio was something like maybe 70% original stuff, 30% remakes and sequels. Now, it feels like it has switched. Where like 70% of what's coming out right now is either a remake or a sequel, and only 30% is original stuff. And I consider original like anything like that hasn't been done in movie form before. So let's talk about like, okay, I'll just say Harry Potter for instance.
Okay.
Yes, it's a whole book. It's a whole book series, but
right.
I feel like it's a good. I consider original when they brought the movies because that's a whole different medium. When you switch the medium, it matters. So even the Equalizer, them remaking it, they remade it. It was a TV show. They remade it into a movie that automatically changes how you're going to do it. That brings a new levity to it. But like here it is, we're talking about they got Mean Girls. Well, right now they're doing, I guess, musical movies type of thing. They got the new Mean Girls, which, okay, not my thing. Like I love the original, but yeah. Oh, Moses says remakes are God's farts. They shouldn't exist. I cannot agree with you. I'm sorry. I've seen remakes make things better. What I can agree with you is that they're doing too much of it. We're about to fight. Pre says T2 deserves a remake. Yeah, I said it. Okay, first of all, relax yourself. That is an untouchable, amazing movie. Second of all, technically they did do a remake. Technically. Like, the one that just came out,
20 Terminators. And the one that I felt like came closest to being good was the one with Christian Bale in it. That one was pretty cool. I like
that was a good one. Mm-hmm.
The ones they try to do and nothing against, gender or whatever, but they try to do the female T-1000, and then they try to do some other guy where he was the bad guy. Like, nah, dude, like, no.
Okay, all right, damn it, all right, Caesar, I can't be here all night, but I'm gonna say this real quick. So, Terminator 3, the thing that I like about it was actually the female Terminator. I'm like, okay, they did something different. I did like it. I thought that she gave a good homage to the original T2. She wasn't better, but she gave a good homage. I thought she did a good job with what she had to come in after and fulfill. The thing I hate about Terminator 3 is the casting of John Connor and how they wrote him and how they played him. Some whiny little, I can't. I'm like, stop distracting me, Caesar. Stop distracting me.
I'm sorry. But like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's just, I know, but again, no, but we're not distracted because we're still talking about remakes. Equalizer 3.
No, you're right. No, you're right. I'm playing, but yes. Like we're still, so remakes are a necessary evil. You should say. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't.
Real quick, before you go, so I would say this, and that is what's gonna mess up the media, the medium of movies, is the fact that remakes for me are just lazy rewrites. You're being lazy and you just want to add a little bit of touch of, like, that's like if we're making a remake of a movie and now they're gonna start doing the flaws throughout the whole movie because they have to modernize it. Like, no, dude, let's get creative. Let's bring that creativity back. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, there was the era and the decades of Marvel and superhero movies. And, that's a whole nother discussion. But now we need to get to a point now that, and there's so much creativity and put in original work. You know what I mean? Like, there's a bunch of stories that we could tell, and there's a bunch of things that, that we could do stuff in space, we could do stuff in Earth, we could do stuff underwater. There's a lot of other mediums we could touch. But why do we got to be touching stuff that happened only 20 years ago?
Well,
10 years ago, 15 years ago? Like, yo.
So there's there's some things going on with Hollywood, with new writers coming in and new things. So that's a whole nother conversation that we can have offline. And I can tell you some stuff of why you're seeing what you're seeing and why you're seeing what you're seeing, and why it probably won't end. Different conversation though. But what I do want to say is that, have you seen Man on Fire?
Of course.
I know. Okay. I felt like, in a weird way, that this movie not only wrapped up Equalizer 3, but somehow it wrapped up Man on Fire for me. Does that make sense? Because of who? Okay. Man on Fire, him having to protect the little girl, and then she getting kidnapped, and him going off the rails, trying to find her, trying to make everybody pay. And
you want to bring the girl back?
It turns out that her own father has set everything up, but he wasn't trying to have her be hurt. he was just bankrupt and he was trying to like get money somehow. So he went through everybody, only find out that it was the father. So he, so at the end, the dude that was holding her said, "Okay, I'm gonna trade her life for your life," and he went, and so she got saved, and he left with the cartel, who obviously ended him. Right? Do you remember who the little girl was?
Yeah, the Dakota Fanning, I think.
Yes, the same one in this movie who, spoiler alert, and the big surprise at the end, the twist, was the daughter of his friend that got murdered in in Equalizer 2.
Right, right.
So he was rectifying, like, to
Right
see.
from part one, and then the lady at part two, I
Yeah,
think, or maybe reverse.
yeah, yeah, and her murder was the catalyst for that movie. But this was her daughter, and she
Right.
was his last living friend. Honestly, like his last real living friend from back in the day who he trusts was her, and she was gone. And to
Time
see,
she
huh?
Denzel, the character that Denzel was playing, he knew the whole time who that girl was. He
Yes,
knew.
yes, yeah, no, because yeah, he knew from jump, because obviously that's his friend, so he knows about her family. But the same doesn't, but the daughter doesn't know about him. So that revealed that, like, he led her there to help her with her career, because he knows she's capable, to push her forward, to kind of like, and to kind of give over the black book. Oh, your mom would be so proud of you. Like closing all that out, like, oh my gosh. And then realizing that, thinking of in terms of like, okay, in Man on Fire, maybe he died in the car, and Dakota Fanning lived, but now here she is older, and they're working together again, technically as old. I know it sounds weird, but
Right.
you know what I mean.
I'm
It just
gonna say that you connection between Man on Fire with Equalizer.
yeah, I know. I think they casted her on purpose because of that. That's how I feel, because this is a similar type of way. He went vigilante mode in that movie.
Hard though. That's the only reason. Because if they would have closed out, I would agree with everything you're saying. If they would have closed out where, you know how in I don't know if you ever saw Breaking Bad. Did you see Breaking Bad?
It was on my list forever, and I never watched it because it was.
I'm not gonna jump fine. But oh damn, so I can't tell you what happened. So the
Yeah,
point is about if
I
this
know
is
what
what
happened.
you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so just like in the very ending, spoiler alert for Breaking Bad, where when the cops came in and he was just still laying there, it didn't show that he completely died. It just showed that he woke up and then the cops came in and that's how they ended. Now, if they would have
Mm.
done something like that with Man on Fire, then 100%, I would have been like, yo, that's fucking crazy. I didn't think about that. But just like Lovely Laura, what she said is true. At the end, it shows that he bled out in the car. It's Dunzo. And yeah, probably got chopped up by the cartel. Because cartels don't joke around. So that's my 2 cents. But I know what you're trying to say, and I know what you're trying to do. But also,
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to do it. I've done it. It's lovely. Lovely agrees with me.
yeah, yeah.
She says,
I mean,
"I'm with you. I like the connection." She's also disappointed that I haven't seen Breaking Bad. I,
so
I feel like I disappointed everybody on the live just now by admitting I've never seen it.
now I didn't just see it, but like when it ended, the Breaking Bad, like it took me like 3 or 4 years later because I remember I was hanging out with my older brother and he's a the show and he was like, dude, you gotta watch it. And I'm go, watch what? Did you see Breaking Bad? I'm like, nah. And bro, roasted. I got roasted hard. And I'm like, okay, I watch it. I watch it. And sure enough, I fell in love with the show. It's really awesome. It's a really good show.
So understand this: it is never lack of desire to see. It is never lack of desire. It is lack of time. That is the problem. That is the problem. Like when something like that, like it's for their 5 seasons. It was 5 seasons. That's a lot to go through and a lot to commit. So that's my problem. I will see it. I see a lot of judgment happening, but
But just
Lovely said, I don't think it's a real connection. It's just a play on the characters. Yeah, that's why I said in some weird way it kind of like resolved the end of Man on Fire for me. In
I
some
will
weird way.
I will give you a heads up on Breaking Bad on the way to watch. It is the way that show too is when you watch Breaking Bad, you gotta it happens like seasons is like almost the same year, and if you start seeing it like how it's getting big time. So if you look at it, it's so brilliantly made. Like it's so well written, that show, where you really got to be attentive of the timeline of what's happening and how it's happening and whatnot. But
Oh,
it
okay. You.
that's why everybody loves that show. Is like the way everything connects. Like it puts you in the edge of your seat, dude. Like even
Yeah.
shit that like what the fuck happened, and you just be there. Like you're so attached to those
Oh my
characters.
gosh. Berm says, but you got time for Reacher. You know what?
Yo, he's coming for your neck. He's coming for your neck.
That that show was awesome. I don't care what nobody say. Yo.
Yeah.
And remember, it was a movie first, and books. Come on, I love that. Oh, look, just in the movie night says, I agree with that Man on Fire thought. See. Oh, Better Call Saul as well. Yeah, I know that's a spinoff. I know it's a spinoff. Yeah.
Good,
So
good. It's also a good
okay.
show. Again, no nomination. It's still a good show.
I will say one thing about the guys. The bad guys, that the younger one, not the big bad, but his brother and his
Yeah.
goons. So one of the goons I found hilarious because like he's this big scary guy with tattoos and rough, and he's got a man bun, and it just destroyed everything for me. But it was so funny because every time like he would look so menacing, he would turn around and you see the man bun, and for some reason it would make me laugh. I don't know why.
Oh, with
I
his
don't
man
know.
bun.
It just tickled me pink. It just tickled me pink. I was like, all right. I don't know.
So
I don't know. I don't know why, but it made me laugh. I thought I'd share. So, we're about to wrap this up, guys. Thank you for hanging out. One quick thing I want to ask you, Caesar. I did a poll. I forgot to check it when I came on. I don't know why. I always forget to check these things before I do the lives. But what your favorite Equalizer movie is? 1, 2, or 3 of the three. The one that you like the most.
say now or there's a poll.
No, you can tell me now. I did a poll on it's on the stories and it's on YouTube as well. Community. I did 2 polls, but miss me and you right here, right now. What is your favorite one of the 3?
One.
One?
I like the first
Mm-hmm.
one. And also just know that I am attentive to what you be posting. You also mentioned are trilogies or is it for every movie? And I will agree that with some, yes, and no, and there's others that a good example, like we just mentioned, Fast and the Furious, they should have stopped at 2, or they should have stopped after the fourth one, and that's it.
I
But
would have, you know what? No, I would have. They should have stopped after Paul Walker. I feel they had just enough. Like they brought in The Rock, and he kind of rejuvenated the series. Like it got me interested because of like, oh snap, him versus Vin Diesel. Like that was very interesting, and the tank. Like I was with it, and then Paul Walker, and I was like, okay, perfect way to end the series and go out. And they were like,
just
but
like Pre
money.
said, John Wick. John Wick, is like, and I like how it's written in the way where you gotta find out what's gonna happen now. Okay, the first one, um, he survived and he did what he had to do. The second one, he just messed up and he messed up with the rules of engagement and the rules of the hotel. And the third one, now everybody's after him. And now the fourth one, he's trying to get out again. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's so many things where it will leave you on your seat, but you have to know how to write it where you know you can leave a good cliffhanger. You
Mm-hmm.
just can't just end start a movie or end the movie and then leaves no carrot at the end for us. Like, okay, like what the hell? Like, what's going on? So there's certain movies that could get away with it, and then there's some movies that you can't. You can't.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
one, the best one out of all three. My second will be part three, and then my third will be part two.
I feel like that is also my order.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part two was my least favorite. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying like I like one and three so much better than two.
I
Also, they kill a beloved character. I think I have a thing against that because I also don't like the born supremacy too much because of that. When they kill a character I love, I'm like, eh.
so how I rank it is like if I see Equalizer on Netflix or on Hulu, whatever, part one and part three, I'll watch it. But if I see part two, I will watch it if I'm really bored or while I'm playing Xbox. That's when I watch it. Just so that,
Yeah,
I can be.
yeah. Or I'll watch the first 20 minutes of part two and then be done. Because that intro was wild.
I'm
That
a
intro
person
was wild. I love it.
for the movie, I have to finish the whole thing. I have to finish it. Like it needs to be. Hmm, that's just me.
If it's a movie I've never seen before, I have to finish it.
Oh
If
yeah,
a
of
movie I
course.
have seen before, I
That's
can.
a lot.
It depends. It depends. Let's see. Just on the movie night, says someone mentioned Fast and Furious. Yes. Oh Lord, no. Fast and Furious. I know. Should have ended. When after Paul passed. Yep. See, I agree. So just on the movie says 3-1-2.
Yeah.
Why is it? I always forget Pedro Pascal being in films. I think it's also because of what you said. To answer that question, is because it's more you the hero is highlighted more, well, and protagonist is highlighted more. Denzel's character is what you remember,
Right.
not so much the villain. It's his character because it's he does such a well job of having a seasoned character. Even when he's not saying anything, he's saying something. Like the looks, the observations, like just watching him try to mind his business in part three and like, no, I'm just passing through. I don't want no trouble. I just want to focus and get out of here. And he just can't ignore injustice. He just can't.
Exactly. Exactly. You nailed it. It's like, dude, it's like I'm trying to get out, but they just pull me back in. It's
Every
one of
time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Yes. So I think that he's finally found his peace. And that's why I'm like, I would prefer us not to disturb it. And we'll see. Obviously, Denzel loves this character for him to be willing to do sequels on this
right, right.
only
Something
movie he's done sequels.
that he really, you could tell that he just enjoys.
Yes,
Like he does
yes.
thing, but like he does that little thing. You know that he's gonna take out at least three or four guys. Like he
At
just,
least.
he has that.
Yeah.
But
He
Denzel
finds
that
ways. He
is
finds
that no
ways.
age he's in. Denzel's that guy.
Yes,
He's the man.
yes. The movie night says Washington's emoting is incredible. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
And
Like
it
I knew
also
everything that was going on.
when I was a kid and I saw Glory, and with Glory, it was such a impactful movie where he was just a guy that you could tell that he'd been through stuff. Like he's been through the mistreatments. Like he just didn't give a fuck because it's like, bro, there's no point of pleasing the white man if I get treated. Like you could just tell. And then you got my man Morgan Freeman, let him know, like, yo, bro, you gotta chill out. Like not everybody's like that, but it's like the way his delivery was when he did Malcolm X, killed it.
Oh
He
my
did
God.
amazing.
Listen,
Went from being a pimp, a big time player, until he got serious and he was all about the Muslim, and then all of a sudden he realized, like, yo, maybe I took it overboard. Like all the way, and then Training Day, my man.
listen. I quote Training Day all the time. And the one line I quote all the time, is not what you know, it's what you can prove. Lovely says, favorite line of the movie, I don't want to spoil it for you. Oh yeah, that was so great. When that delivery. Philadelphia, yeah. Thank you, just another movie night. He's amazing in it. Correct. Like, I mean, just a powerhouse. And I see some potential up and comers coming in, like the next new class. And I just was like, I'm just like, pay attention to the veterans, yo. They know what they're talking about. Just pay attention.
Tom Hanks did that movie in Philadelphia. He killed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Well, Caesar, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank you guys for being on, giving us commenting, and we love the engagement. I love it all. You know, be sure to follow Caesar, follow me. We'll see what's in store for Caesar, what movie he's going to be in the future. See if we can get him on the big screen.
But
they got stuff going on.
Can I give quick shout outs before I go?
Absolutely.
Start off with my niece Stacy and my other niece Daisy. I love you guys. Good shout out to you guys. Also that I noticed my sister-in-law was on. Shout out to Daisy. I love you too. And to Dupree, to Keith. I miss you guys. You're my brothers. I always have you guys. And Dupree, you snapping. I remember it, bro. And you are the king of snapping. You the man. And to my man D Breezy. Also check him out too, D Breezy. He has an Instagram as well. He's like a stunt coordinator. He does a lot of things with bikes and motorcycles. Okay. Anything that, you know, if you have anything with motorcycles or any stunts like that, he could do wheelies. He could do it all with the bike. He's nasty with it. So shout out to my man. Okay. And you know, to my lovely wife and to my beautiful 3-year-old, you know, shout out to them as well. And again, Lisa, thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. I loved having this conversation. Love said you got to come back on. You mentioned all the movies.
Knowledgeable, man. Like, I'm glad that I'm not the only one. It's a movie, you know, a movie.
Yeah. There's a whole community here. Come through. Like, there's a whole community. Like, we have some really, like, talented, awesome movie reviewers, movie lovers, all kind of stuff.
Yeah. Right. And I'm glad that I'm just not the only one, because I be, you know, to the T, you know, like I look at everything, you know, I look at all the performances and whatnot. So it was a great time speaking with you, and I would love to do this again. We can speak about anything. I could do chick flicks. I could do Pixar.
Absolutely.
Come on, man, I'm with
it. Absolutely. You have a lovely night. I love you guys. You guys all have a lovely night. And I'll check you guys back next week.
I will be there, and I will see you guys.